Welcome back to Tiny Space Academy Part 3. So we're going through the campaign missions here, and we have an Orbital Research mission, and we are going to need to get 2 orbits around and get the medium science module and use that. So our capsule here has the ability to handle this. So we're going to go ahead and put a capsule on there. We're going to get if we take a look, we got a medium science module there, and we're going to go ahead and put that on the underneath the cone, and we're going to need to get a battery to be able to make that work. And then of course we're going to get a solar panel, and we'll put that solar panel, I'll hit D a couple times here to flip it around. Whoa, there we go. Actually, I need to flip it once more. There we go. All right, so we have our solar panels now, and so we're going to need to get this thing in orbit. So we're gonna need the vacuum set, as I call it, and we're gonna need to bring him safely back. So we'll put a decoupler there. If I put a small decoupler, it doesn't cover it because it's not an engine. So I'll put a extra small there, and I'll just put a fairing underneath it to cover. So now we're going to have some aerodynamics. All right, so the staging is that we've got the parachute, and then the decoupler, and then the fairing, or I guess it's just the opposite. So it's the fairing first, and the decoupler. But we're going to need to put some more on there. So we're going to put a small fuel tank, and then we're going to have the vacuum engine, and we'll put a decoupler underneath that. This time we can use a small one, and it'll cover it because it's the engine. And then we'll put our big fuel tank underneath that. And I'm thinking that we're going to need a little bit more power to get it up, so I think I'm just going to use, we don't need much fuel, so I think I'm just going to put these little fuel tanks there on the side, and then we'll put an engine underneath all those 3. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's try to get this thing up. All right, holding down lift shift and blast off. Oh yeah, we got plenty. We're up, and where it looks like, yes, we're out of the atmosphere, which is great. Oh, I think we're just might be in it slightly. We gotta just throttle it up. No, I don't think that we're gonna make it. We're just in the atmosphere, so this engine is really struggling. I think I can do it though. I'm just going to go a little bit more straighter up. I'm just barely tilting it over. No, that one didn't make it. Look, I'm going to have to just pretty much go straight up. I just want to get out of the atmosphere, tilting it slightly over. Okay, we're definitely out of the atmosphere now, and you can see that this, I'm only using 35% of the thing. Now I'm going to throw it up to about 60, but we're way out of the atmosphere now. That's really the key, is with these vacuum engines, that you don't want to use them in the atmosphere. They're just really bad. All right, so now we're looking good. We've got we're in orbit here. we're going to deploy our solar panels. There we go. And we're going to wait until the module gets to the point when it did already. So now we're just orbiting around, and at the same time we're using our the science. And there we go. We used the science module. So that's done. And we completed our orbits around the Earth, and now we're just going to need to go back down. So I'm going to rotate it to the opposite direction of which I'm traveling. I'm going to fire up the engine a little bit, and you'll see this orbit shrink, and it goes into the it goes right into the atmosphere, so that's good. So we have decoupled, and we will retract our solar panels, which will allow that fuel tank to go away. And then now we're entering the atmosphere. We'll deploy the parachute, and we'll be able to, I believe, safely return. So we're coming down into the atmosphere. The other piece will splash down into the ocean, and we are going to land at about, what, 20 something, 27. We're splashing down nice and safe. All right. And we get 160 for recover, so that's really good. We got $1,100 plus 75 science, and that works out really nicely. All right, here we go. Rendezvous Earth. This session will require a docking port. All right, so we're going to need to get 2 vehicles up there, both with docking ports, and try to dock them. We're going to get 100 science and $1,300 if we can complete this. We also need to do an EVA. So at least one of these rockets needs to be in a capsule. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the drone ship basically up there first, the one we're going to dock with. And the reason why I'm doing this is just because if anything goes wrong, I just want to have a drone ship. All right, we got to research the docking port, so we just got that. And we have 192 research. We're also going to research these Rcs Thrusters, which use a tiny bit of fuel to do like little maneuvers that are close by. So you don't necessarily want to be using this for big things, but you definitely want to use it for small maneuvers. So we're going to put our docking port on top of the, right there, on top of the drone. And having one drone ship and one docking ship is probably a good, or one crewed ship is I think is a good idea. Just less risk to lose people. All right, so now we're gonna get our fuel tank here. That's too big. That's too big. I think we want to go the small, extra small one. Yeah. So we got our extra small. It only has 10 fuel, but the what is it called? Rcs Thrusters are very small. So there we go. So now we've got our thrusters. We can maneuver side to side. And we got our little fairing there. I don't know if that's okay or not. If we put a decoupler on top of it, there's nowhere to put it underneath it. So I'm just gonna, I'm seeing that there's really only one place to put it, and that's right on top of it. All right, well, I mean, it connected, so I guess we're okay. We'll find out. Anyway, underneath that decoupler, we're going to need to get the setup for, that's interesting, the little bottom of the thruster is still showing there. Well, I guess I'm not going to worry about that. So anyway, we got our little orbital setup there. We're going to put another decoupler there. And then we'll put a basic fairing underneath it to get our aerodynamics. And then we will just put a big tank there and our first stage engine. All right, let's get this thing up there, get it into orbit. So you can see I'm tilting it over a bit. Oh, we got plenty of gas. Too much, probably. I don't necessarily want to go that high of an orbit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt that thing over. Oh, that's really high. Look at that. That's way up there. Now, I need to tilt this thing over right as soon as I launch, basically. There we go. I'm tilting it over as much as I possibly can and just pointing it to get it the lowest altitude orbit that I can get. Alright, we'll detach the fairing. We'll throttle down. We will decouple. And now we have a nice orbit. Pretty big, to be honest with you. But that's alright. We're going to speed it up a little bit here to get to the apogee. We'll probably push out the perigee a bit, just so we have a better circular orbit than this. Alright, there we go. We're way out of the atmosphere at this point. But, yeah, it looks like that might work. Fairly circular. We could pull the apogee, and you see me, I'm rotating. There we go. The engine it would push it back just a bit. Now we're at perigee. And we'll just, there we go. Alright. So now we're in a pretty good circular orbit there. Alright, so here's our drone, and we're going to rotate it here, which actually turned out to be a little bit of a mistake. We should have just kept the docking port faced the other way, but whatever, it's fine. It worked. Okay, so now we're going to have our second vehicle, which is the crewed ship. So we're going to put a docking port on that. Now see, we don't have a parachute, so this thing's going to go ahead and dock, and we're going to have to figure out how to get that guy back because he's just going to be up there until forever, unless we're able to get him. But we'll put a small battery there. We're going to put a solar panel, and the reason why I'm doing this, because I don't want to run out of power in order to just like turn the vehicle. So we're going to need to do some docking. So I'm going to put the thruster, the RCS thrusters there, and then we'll have a decoupler. We'll put that right on top of there. Right, and then we're going to get our engines here for Well, I guess we need some fuel. There's our fuel. And we have our small vacuum engine. There we go. And then we'll have our small decoupler, which will take care of that engine. And we have a nice space in there, which is not good. So what if I put a fairing there? There we go. Okay, that covered it up. And then we got our bigger fuel tank there. And we've got an engine, first stage engine. And we'll try to launch this one up there too. Here we go, full blast, full power. Boy, it's taking off a little bit slow. Fairing's gone. Trying to get it up out of the atmosphere. Yeah, we did. You can see we're getting some decent performance out of the engine. Okay, yeah. I think that we can just throttle up and get this orbit out there. Alright. So we got it on one side, we just need to get it on the other side. Alright, getting towards the apogees to push out the perigee. We'll push this thing out. There it goes. And trying to match the other orbit. Push it out just a little bit more. There we go. Alright, that's a pretty good circular orbit. You can see we got plenty of power. And we're going to speed this up because we want to get, so you can see that we're on the inside track, so we're gaining ground on the drone ship there with the docking port. It goes a little bit inside of us there, but it's a longer stretch here where we're inside, so we're ultimately gaining on it every orbit. So we're trying to get close here. And it's going to go away from us a little bit there, and then we're going to get it a little bit closer to it. I think we're going to need another orbit. Yeah. Well, you can see we definitely are getting closer. All right. Here we go. Here's our other orbit. Now we're right underneath it. And we can see them both in the screen at the same time, which is good. I mean, you can see it there. It's not too far away. I think we should go for it now. All right. So, yeah, you can see it's coming back down. There it is. It's not that far away. All right, I'll decouple the big engine, and then I'll use the Rcs Thrusters. There we go. So we're using the thrusters. We're going to have to slow our momentum. There we go. Yes, we're going to slow the momentum there. All right, now we can see this thing. We're really close. So now I'm going to go, and this is what I was talking about. If I could just dock it like that, that's great. But I got to turn this thing around. I got plenty of power in order to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and just maneuver this thing over. Get it a little bit closer. and then start pushing it. There we go, this side, and get a little bit closer, and yes, we have docked. All right, so now all we got to do is perform an EVA, and we should be good to go. So right now I am going to select the EVA, and we just did that. There we go. Awesome. 1300 plus 100 science. That is just fantastic. That worked out really nicely. All right, now we've got Space Station Earth. So we got to get a large science module up there for this one, and we want to launch it into space and complete 2 orbits. So what I'm thinking on this one, I'm going to try to get this guy back into his ship. We got to get that green icon. Was he not able to go back in it? He's trying to. He's pushing it. He's like, let me get in this ship. Let me collect a sample. There's no such thing. I don't want to reset it. No. What do I need to do here? Get up on top of it like that? No. Oh, let's see here. There it is. All right, he's back in. Safe and sound. Okay. But what I'm going to do here, I'm thinking, what is that? Is that a fuel tank or something? Oh yeah, that was just that decoupled fuel tank. But isn't that a beaut? That's the drone ship and the crew module with one guy in it there. I think I want to just get rid of that fuel tank right there. Let's just delete that fuel tank. We're not bringing that thing back down. All right, that's gone. We'll call it like a laser blast that just destroyed it. How's that? Anyway, I think that we're okay. Here's the perigee, so it's not gonna go down into the atmosphere. So we're pretty much right at the edge, which we should be fine. All right, so let's go ahead and build the large science modules thing. The small capsule only holds 1 person, but the large science module requires 2 astronauts in order to do it. So I'm thinking that we're going to need to get a different capsule. So let's go into research here. And this one here is a small drone control. Let's go ahead and research that. And then this one's the medium capsule, and that holds up to 3 people. So what I'm thinking here is to actually only put 2 of them in there, and then go try to rescue the 3rd guy who is over there in the docked ship. So I put a parachute on top of this. Here's our large science module. It looks kind of more like a habitat, where people, it's got windows. It looks like that's kind of like a place where astronauts can actually go. Here's our battery. So instead of I'm going to put it on the side, I'm thinking. And in order to put some symmetry on it, I'll go ahead and just put those on the side. I think that's a good idea. We need 2 batteries anyway. Because we need 500 power in order to power that thing up. Well, that's interesting. So the other solar panel is kind of like either inside or behind. I'm not sure which one it is, but that's I don't know how to get that. Let's see. Do I just need to connect it back up? in order to try to click on that. Let's see. Look at that. It's kind of like inside there. And I don't know if that's going to deploy properly or what. So let's just start over there. So let's get the science module. I got to connect it first there. Okay, so now we've got our solar panel. Nope, that's the one that goes kind of inside. That's the one that goes outside. That's the one that goes outside. All right. I like the look of that better. Even if it might work the other way, I feel better about this, that it's going to be like that. Well, this is interesting. That's not really symmetrical. Do I need to do something here with the filter and mirror this thing or something? That looks like that would be a little bit higher, and that's not exactly what I want. Trying to get it down the same. Let's just, I don't know. Let's just stick it on there, I guess. Let's see what happens. Let's rotate it. Put it down there. There we go. And that guy, maybe that's the one that needs to get, there we go. Just adjusted. All right. That looks nice. That looks symmetrical. It's exactly what we want. So we've got our large module taken care of with our solar panels and with our batteries. And then for extra science, I could put these on the side there. Now they're not stackable, but you kind of want to have symmetry there. So we've got our satellite dishes there. All right. I'm wondering if that's going to be too heavy to bring back down. I'm thinking about putting another parachute on here. And this decision to not put extra parachutes, well, let's just put it this way. In hindsight, I wish I would have put these things on. Even if they don't look right, they probably would have worked. I could put it on top of the solar panel, or I could put it on top of the batteries. But instead, I decided not to, and I wish that I did. Let's put it that way. Anyway, so let's put on our small decoupler there. We're going to need to be in orbit, so we're going to need to get a lot of fuel there, as much as we can, I guess. So let's put that big tank there. And then let's go ahead and put our small engine. We will put our decoupler there, and then we will put this is going to be pretty heavy, so I'm thinking on this one we're going to need 3 of these bigger ones. And then we'll put our engine on underneath all 3 of these. All right, there we go. We've got our large science module rocket. Let's go ahead and let's take out one of the crew. So we got 3 crew in there. We'll take one out. There we go. So we'll only launch with 2 of the crew. And we're going to have enough power. 510 power should suffice us. So let's try to get this one up. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's look at the staging. Make sure everything's good. It's good. Let's roll. Blast off. All right, we got our 3 engines just rolling. We're going pretty much straight up. way out of the atmosphere. We're getting up towards there. And then let's throttle down a little bit. We decoupled. We're using the other engine. We're going to go ahead and push that out. And now we're falling back down. Oh, no. We just need to do it. I think we just need to do it a little bit quicker. Get a little bit higher. So let's go. We're going to pitch a little bit more straight up. Yeah, that gets us way up there. And now we'll push it over. Might be a little bit high. But I think it's going to be okay. Alright, we're just going straight 90 degrees now. Getting the orbit out. There we go. All right, that's trying to get close to the other orbit so that we have a chance to rescue that guy. But let's just go ahead and get the power up. So spin this thing around. We're on the inside track, so sooner or later I gotta think that we'll catch up. But there we go. We have orbited twice, and we are done. So tune in next episode for the rescue mission.